Pabst Brewing prepares for a sort of homecoming, GABF gets bigger and bolder, and we celebrate a space-age milestone. All this on the latest installment of the Drinkable Week. Hello, I'm Jeff Cialetti of DrinkableGlobe.com, and welcome to the Drinkable Week. Pabst Brewing Company will once again brew beer at the site of its historic former brewery in Milwaukee, originally built in 1844. Though Pabst markets one of the most popular brands among hipsters, it hasn't physically brewed anything in about 2 decades. By the time the Milwaukee site ceased production in the mid-90s, all of its other breweries throughout the country had long since closed. Pabst, which also owns brands like Old Style, Blatz, and Schlitz, has contracted production to Miller Coors and others, and that will likely still be the case as the Milwaukee site will function primarily as a small batch pilot brewery for some experimental beers and others based on pre-prohibition recipes for the likes of Old Tankard Ale and Kloster beer. The company is really hoping to capitalize on consumers' thirst for craft beer. And speaking of which, let's head to Denver and talk about the Great American Beer Festival. The GABF is still 2 months away, but the Brewers Association gave us a peek at some of the big changes in store for the country's biggest beer festival. For one thing, an additional 90,000 feet of the Colorado Convention Center is being allocated for GABF, which means an additional 11,000 brew enthusiasts will be able to get tickets when they go on sale to the general public on July 29th. You can expect some 3,500 beers from more than 800 breweries at the event, scheduled for September 24th to 26th. And another key change, the Brewers Association has rebranded the GABF Signature Beer and Food event, formerly known as the Farm to Table Pavilion. It's now called, quite simply, Paired. And speaking of pairing, nothing goes together better than spaceflight and liquor, so let's leave Earth for this next story. Now, New Horizons' stunning images of Pluto have us all over the moon, or over the dwarf planet, as the case may be. But this week also marks the anniversary of another milestone in space exploration. It was on July 17, 1975, exactly 40 years ago, that Stolichnaya became the first vodka brand in space. It was part of the Apollo-Soyuz test project, the first joint U.S.-Soviet space flight while we were still in the throes of the Cold War. It effectively ended the space race, but ushered in the era of weightless mixology. Of course, I made that last part up. Anyway, Nastrovia, everyone. Thanks for watching the Drinkable Week. As always, I welcome your feedback at Jeff Cialetti and at Drinkable Globe. And as always, I'm going to plug my new book, The Year of Drinking Adventurously, now available for pre-order at Amazon.com. Scheduled to ship on November 24th. And remember, grab the world by the glass.